Alright, comic book fans and webheads, today we're diving into one of the most average stories ever told in The Amazing Spider-Man. A saga so powerful, it can only be called, you guessed it, just a guy named Joe. Not Spider-Man fights Venom, not Spider-Man meets the Avengers, hell, not even Spider-Man goes into space. It's literally just a guy named Joe. But on a serious note, this is sort of a prequel to a more iconic supervillain whose identity gets revealed in the next following issues. So if you guys are into that kind of stuff, or just into this video in general, just give me a like, subscribe, and without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, so we open on my guy, Joe Smith. Big dude with big dreams, and maybe not the biggest brain. Joe's like, I'm gonna be champ, just wait and see, with zero stats to back it up. Talk about the power of imagination. Meanwhile, some guy over here is roasting him, like, look at this guy, bro. Like, he literally calls him a panic. Like, what does that even mean? Is that supposed to be like an insult to all people that panic, bro? Like if people back in the 60s saw somebody panicking, that they just, like, hey, that guy's a panic. Like, I don't know, man. 1960 insults just hit different, bro. Now we see him begging Tommy Hilfiger's look-alike to manage his boxing career. As soon as he agrees, boom, man steps into the ring, and before you can even blink, he gets knocked out. Dude gets folded like laundry, bro. Like, look at him, bro. Like, does that look like a guy that has the stats to back it up? No, it does not. But you know, this is Joe, man. He's not done yet. He's got to keep going. And then the very next panel, he tries wrestling, and then gets yeeted out of the ring with all his hopes and dreams, bro. Like, all this is happening in the first panel, bro, and we haven't even gotten to Spider-Man. Like, come on, bro. This is crazy. All right, so we follow up on Joe, and he's down bad. I mean, look at him. He literally just got his ass kicked. But you know, it's not over for him. Tommy has plans, you know, and by plans, I mean acting. And by acting, I mean putting a fishbowl helmet and telling him to go smash cardboard. That's what Tommy got him. Like, he literally got him a role as an alien monster extra in a sci-fi show. And that was back when Alien meant green suit and foam muscles. And obviously Joe's confused, but let's be honest, this man's whole life is just one big head scratch. Poor Joe, man. Then suddenly, boom, we're on set in Midtown, and Joe's rocking this costume that looks like a rejected Mega Man boss. And the director is just standing there like, just do it, bro. Just look evil, man. Just do it.
Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow, so just do it! Make your dreams come true!
And then boom, Joe starts smashing props like he's playing whack-a-mole at Chuck E. Cheese. Except the props, they're literally made of basilwood. And Joe's over here thinking he's the Hulk while punching drywall painted silver. I mean, my guy's like, like, come on, bro. Like, imagine just sitting there being like, man, I wish I was as strong as I'm pretending to be right now. Like, I really could just go crazy on, like, bro's really having a flashback of that first page, getting knocked out like that. So while Joe's going back crazy pretending to be a low budget alien, shit hits the fan, which in this case, I mean the arc lights, which causes a wire to fall into chemicals, and Joe goes full Pikachu mode. Man's getting fried like a carnival funnel cake. Then the crew starts freaking out. One guy's like, get a doctor, while bro right here at the Dino Nugget hairline is like,
sensational.
Joe wakes up like he just did 5 rounds with a thunderstorm and says, I feel kind of different. Like, bro, you just got microwaved and toasted, Chef Boyardee style. Anyway, we then cut away from Joe's mini electrocution origin story to check in on Peter's job hunting drama. And what do you know, Jameson's already scared off another secretary. Then we get to see Peter's face as he's assessing the whole thing, and why does my man's face look like he's plotting to do some freaky stuff in the office instead of worrying about the photos he's supposed to get paid for? I mean, like, seriously, look at bro's face. Does that look like someone who's worried about getting paid? Now look at my boy. After hitting one of the most sinister faces we've seen all issue, he's trying to tiptoe his way out of the bugle. And I don't blame him, to be honest. JJ sounds like he's on a 5th game losing streak on our rivals. He's about to get demoted. I mean, look at what JJ is saying in this panel. God forbid someone takes a 2-minute coffee break, am I right? This guy has to be greedier than Mr. Krabs. And that guy was charging his own employees for simply breathing and standing still. Like, do any of you guys actually, like, remember that episode? Like, but, I mean, okay, not as much as Mr. Krabs, but, like, still, like, JJ's office rockers, man. That was the sound of Peter dipping out faster than Joe getting clocked in the first panel before Ned Leeds shows up to basically interrogate bro in the next few panels. Then, in perfect fashion, Ned pulls out one of the oldest supervillain sayings of all time. You haven't heard the last of me. And Peter just there like, go Sherlock Holmes that shit. But obviously Peter's not exactly uncaring like Ned here tries to imply. Like, we can see Peter is worried if she's okay, but he still keeps it chill and tells Ned to shut up. Page 6 kicks off with Peter getting deep in his feelings like he's writing in his diary. He's standing there like, maybe if Betty knew I was Spider-Man, she'd stop ghosting me and texting Ned Leeds instead. But I'm pretty sure Betty's like, doesn't like Spider-Man because I think she blames him for her brother's death, if I remember clearly. We then cut to the sci-fi movie set where Joe is dressed like a tangerine vacuum cleaner and is told to pretend he's a space alien. And instead of following the script, this dude decides it's his villain origin story and he goes batshit crazy again, but this time on the stuntman. Like, bro's throwing punches like he's trying to make up for what happened to him in the boxing and wrestling ring. One director thinks he's the next Tom Cruise, aka a sociopath. And another guy's like, nah, this dude's off his meds. Meanwhile, the stuntmen are getting obliterated and the doctor's too impressed to stop it. Classic showbiz. I'm pretty sure Jonah would agree. So our boy Joe Smith goes full on unhinged here. The stunt team's like, wait, come back, you're all script. And Joe's like, script this. As he punches a wall into next week. Then he lifts a whole car like it's made of Legos and starts monologuing like a low budget villain. I don't know where this strength came from, but I'm mad and strong, and that's a combo for destruction, baby. Like, come on, bro. Meanwhile, Peter's still thinking about Betty, oblivious to everything around him, like he's stuck in the intro of the Whippet Shadows game. And then he eventually snaps out of it while almost getting hit by a rock. That's when Spidey finally swings into action and Webb snipes him from the sky with a Geronimo, and boom, Joe's out here flopping in webs, wondering if a pigeon exploded on him.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Then Joe busts out of Spidey's whipping like he's been benching Buicks for breakfast, and before you know it, the fight we've all been waiting for ensues. Spidey versus Joe. They start going at each other on the rooftop while Spidey starts pulling out his classic quips, and even though Joe's barely speaking at this moment, I'm pretty sure it's pissing him off. I mean, who wouldn't be upset when you're trying to knock a guy's head off and he keeps talking to you while you're juiced up on haterade? Now Spidey's out here like, if punches don't work, maybe I'll guilt him into submission for not talking. But our boy Joe's built like a fridge and punches like one too. He bracks Spidey straight into a car hood like it's a trampoline. What? The Spider-Man mid-wrestling match suddenly goes, wait a minute, are we fighting about vibes? Because even he doesn't know what's going on anymore. Then suddenly Joe starts seeing the light like he's coming off a NyQuil nap. While Toby rolls in like, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I can't leave you hanging, loser. Spidey returns just in time to see Joe vanish into then existential confusion, even though I'm pretty sure it looked something like this. Now remember that supervillain whose identity gets revealed soon that I mentioned in the beginning of the video? Well, here he is, Norman Osborn, and he's about to put on a disguise so perfect, so well planned that not even Batman can tell if it was him. With his 10 out of 10 disguise now done, Norman puts out a hit on Spidey, but for what reason? What beef could he have with the webhead, and why is he willing to pay top dollar to get rid of him? But that is a question that we'll have to get answered in a later issue. We now see Gwen, Harry, Flash, and her friend, and did they just casually name drop the Let's Hate Peter Parker Club? That's not even subtle anymore. Poor Peter, always the topic of discussion when he's not even around. Alright, so we got some classic 60 campus drama here with this random dude rolls up to Peter like, yo Parker, wanna join our angry mob? And Peter's basically like, nah fam, I'm good. But let's be real, homeboy's got spider stuff to do. But then it immediately devolves into this wild argument where someone's calling people religious fanatics and another dude screaming about saving the world. Like, bro, 5 seconds ago, we were just asking Peter to hold a sign. How did we get to existential crisis territory this fast? Then Flash and the crew spots Peter and they look pissed to even see him, while some random guy says his cousin probably likes Lawrence Welk, which I have no idea who that even is, but it is the 60s, I guess. Anyways, after everyone's done with the remarks, we end with Liz Allen low-key swooning over Peter because there's something so strong and proud about him. If only she knew bro really be out here saving the streets. My boy. Now here we start with Joe, recovering like he just woke up from a dream that was 70% violence and 30% regret, while his buddy Tommy is trying to science it out. Maybe you hit a bottle of chemicals and got that with the electrical blues. Great deduction skills, Tommy. Meanwhile, Joe straight up naps mid-convo like it's a spa day. While Joe's taking his nap, we get to the underworld, where we see a suspicious cigar-chomping mustache man offering $20,000 to any goon who can beat up Spider-Man. Yeah, good luck with that. And the crowd reacts like he just offered free pizza for life. Pros like, free pizza for whoever stops Spider-Man. Then we check back at ESU, where everyone's roasting Peter like it's open mic night. But Pete, he's more worried about where he remembers reading about Harry's father. You know, the guy with the 10 out of 10 disguise familiar? Would you look at that? Liz is still catching feels for Pete. We jump to Spidey swinging through the city like it's his cardio day. Nothing like some rooftop gymnastics to clear the cobwebs, am I right? Suddenly the bad guy's radar gets activated. Then the goons try to sneak up on Spider-Man like it's a stealth mission on easy mode. But he flip-flops and absolutely drops these dudes like a bad Wi-Fi connection during a Call of Duty match. But the real drama, we gotta go back to Joe, who's spiraling more than my boy Crash Bandicoot after finding out his friends ate all his Wumpa fruit. And trust me, you don't want to catch Crash without his Wumpa fruit. I mean, look at what bro is saying about himself. He's actually one bad day away from becoming a certain clown from DC. Then after verbally destroying himself, bro knocks the teeth out of the wall because it obviously says something back that we couldn't see. Continuing on his downward spiral, we open on Joe having another episode. Bro's like, I hate them all. They said I don't have a fighter's heart. Bruh, you're glowing like a rage emoji. We get it. You're supposed to be him, huh, Brody? He then storms out the door like he's got Disney villain theme music playing in his head. Meanwhile, his buddy Tommy over here tries to cool him down, but instead, he feels just a fraction of Joe's true power as he pushes him back. And you know what? He hasn't even reached his final form yet. Nah, I'm choking. But maybe Tommy should have gave bro a Snickers. I mean, it was only 25 cents back then, right? We cut to Spidey, who's once again being attacked by every goon in a 5-block radius. He's flipping, kicking, quipping, classic Peter Parker package. Holy shit, I got bars. We open in a gym where the local roid ragers are lifting weights and flexing egos when bam, in steps Joe. Aura pulsating. Dude's got the confidence of a guy wearing socks with sandals in public. He doesn't care anymore. The gym bros start roasting him for his fashion choices, but Joe, he's loving it. He's basically standing there like Super Bowl ready to turn everyone into chocolate. Then boom, he drops like 3 dudes in 5 seconds flat. This man is throwing fists like it's buy one get one free on a Black Friday special sale. And of course, who's just casually swinging by? Spider-Man, our official referee and chaos commentator. Spidey spots Joe and goes, well, how about that? Just one of the ones I'm looking for. Then asks the question we're all thinking, doesn't he ever stop fighting? Which, short answer, no, he does not stop. This guy's crazy. Spider-Man bursts into the gym like a celebrity who forgot this wasn't a meet and greet and starts quipping instead of thwipping. Then tries to help the Void Ragers out, but instead gets caught in the middle of a slap fight tournament. Dudes are flying at him like he's a punching bag with a bounty on it. Meanwhile, Joe is fully off the deep end. I'm in this alone. You're all my enemies. 16 pages deep and bro still think he's the main character. Then the page turns into one big free-for-all. Spidey's flipping, Joe's punching, and gym dudes are trying to split reward money like it's a group project gone wrong. Then by the end, Spidey's realizing that Joe's got more than just fists. He's got a few screws loose. And that's coming from a guy who literally fought a lizard. Yes, that is a pic of the lizard from the 1960s animated series. And no, I'm not that old. Now we see Spidey kicking things off with the energy of a guy who just chewed 5 gum.
How it feels to chew 5 gum.
No!
senses.
We're not sure who's hitting who anymore, but someone's definitely losing dental coverage. Then next panel, we see Spidey hit a guy so hard he flies into a punching bag. You'd think they had a personal grudge. I mean, look at this poor guy. He straight up yells, "Yarg," like he saw his rent go up.
Give me rent.
You'll get your rent when you fix this damn door!
Then Joe jumps in again, then knocks the kapow out of my boy Spider-Man, while Spidey's just trying to breathe between being kicked across the gym like a dodgeball. And everyone's yelling and punching, and yelling while punching, and it's basically a symphony of belt taps. But then we end strong with some last minute uppercuts. Spidey drops a solid haymaker that lands like a burp in a clip, which honestly might sound like my back in the morning when I'm getting out of bed. Then Joe, aka Discount Juggernaut, suddenly realizes the spots are gone, but it's too late. 5-0 shows up. Spidey dips off panel, leaving Joe to deal with the consequences. And just as he's about to get cuffed, boom, in comes Tommy in a bow tie, yelling he's his manager. Because nothing says damage control like showing up late in the tux, am I right? So Joe, the human wrecking ball, is suddenly feeling fine. Apparently that whole chemically induced rampage, just a side effect. Guess he got more lucky than Jamie Foxx, depending on how you look at it. Then what do you know? I guess there is a happy ending for Joe. The studio saw the footage and they loved it. They're giving Joe a full-on acting deal, straight nothing to something, menace to movie star, all in under 24 hours. Meanwhile, the dudes who have been roasting Joe since the start of this issue was like, "Hey Joe, we always believed in you. Where's Samuel Jackson when you need him?"
I have had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane!
We then cut to the next mini chase with Spidey ducking into an alley before getting caught by the pizza party goons from earlier. We now open with Spider-Man being tackled by them because they're still out for that free pizza they were promised. And I mean, look at those faces, determined written all over them. Then it gets worse. After he takes down the pizza party, he ends up in a full monologue next to a store mannequin. Spidey then knocks the fake teeth out of bro's mouth for talking that fake BS in his face like that. And with that, Spidey walks off into the shadows like a sad poet in tights. Then we see May Parker and Mary Jane having tea, and by this point, guys, they've been teasing MJ for like the 5th time without showing her for the last couple of issues. Kinda makes me think that Stan always knew that she was gonna be the one for Pete. Oh wait.
Love seeing you two together again. You always were my favorites.
Rest in peace, Stan Lee, man. One of the greatest, truly. We now open on Peter strolling in after a busy day of pizza party goons and Team Hawk. Then Aunt May's like, "You missed MJ for like the 5th time now," and all Peter can think about is Betty. Seeing the sad look on his face, Aunt May comes to the conclusion that
He needs some milk!
Meanwhile on the TV, Joe Smith is now a full-blown superhero TV star with a 5-year contract and a jawline so sharp it could slice salami. Peter turns off the TV so hard it clicks with drama, then shuffles upstairs like the star of a very special episode of Spider-Man. But before he goes, he leaves us with the most thought-provoking message this issue. You can't have nightmares when you're asleep if you have them when you're awake. So we're gonna give this one a 6 out of 10. It had some funny stuff in it with action alongside it, and ultimately laid the groundwork for what comes next with Norman Osborn, who plays a major part in Peter Parker and Spider-Man's life. So yeah, it was a pretty good read. Alright guys, that about wraps it up for this video. I really love Spider-Man and Marvel and comics in general, so if you want to see more videos from me like this, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll catch you in the next one. Excelsior.